Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Trisha, and in today's video, we're going to be learning how you can create your very own logo for your business absolutely for free. And all we're using today is our iPhone and a free app called PicsArt. So if you want to learn how, then just keep watching. The first thing we're going to do is open up Google and we're going to search for some different textures. Now, I personally like to search for different textures like gold foil backgrounds, silver foil backgrounds, pink foil backgrounds, pink glitter, silver glitter. You get the gist. So any kind of textured background that you think you might want to use, go ahead and search for all of those. You can do things like pastel gradient, rainbow gradient, anything along those lines. So just go through and choose all of the ones that you like. I like this pretty rose gold color, anything that you like, and you'll just save the photo to your phone. And then we are going to be using those in just a little bit when we start to create our logo. So go ahead and go through those and find all the ones you want. Even if you're not going to use them all, it's better to just have a whole bunch of options. That way you can kind of play around with everything and see how it looks because you may have an idea in your head in the beginning, but then when you actually go to make it, it may not look how you thought. So it's just good to have some options to play around with. So now we're going to go ahead and open up the PicsArt app and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. When you see the white square, we're going to click on the white square and then we are going to just save that square as is. We're not going to add anything to it. So just open it up, click apply and click save. Now we're going to go back and we're going to start a new project. And so you're going to click on the plus button at the bottom. And this time you're going to choose the very first square that you see with like the checkerboard pattern. And that is going to give us a transparent background. So go ahead and click on that. Once that opens, then you're going to click on add photo. And you're just going to go and add the white square that we just saved. And we're going to add that into our project. And once we get the white square on our screen, you're just going to go ahead and stretch it out, make it a little bit bigger. That way you can see what you're doing. The reason why we're doing this is because it can get kind of hard to see some of the graphics and the darker colors on that dark background. So I just like to have the white background behind while we're designing. But we are not going to be saving the logo with the white background on there. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is click on sticker, and there in the sticker portion of the app, they have tons of options. So you can literally type in anything that you want in your logo, whatever kind of elements you want to add. It can be shapes, it can be like, for example, for this one, I'm searching for a ski mask. It can be hair, it can be whatever you want it to be, eyelashes, whatever. So I'm just searching for a ski mask for this logo. And I'm just going to keep looking through until I find one that I like. And as you can see, there's so many different options. So really get creative and take your time and have fun. Okay, so I found the one that I like. So I'm going to get this one with the pink on it. And I'm just going to add it to the project and just resize it a little bit just so I can see a little bit better. And I'm just going to kind of move it off to the side a little bit while I work on the rest of the logo. So the next thing we're going to do is add our words or your business name, whatever you want to add on there. And so you're going to click on add text, and then you're just going to type out the name or the word that you want to put. And I'm going to change the color to black just so we can see a little bit better. And you can play around with the fonts. Now, on the free version of this app, there are only like a very small selection of fonts that you can choose from. It used to be where you can download other fonts and bring them into the app and use those, but on the newer version, now they want you to upgrade to the premium version to add your own fonts. So there's only a few fonts to choose from on the free version. Now, by all means, if you want to go ahead and pay for the premium version to use your own fonts, definitely go for it. You'll have a ton more options with the premium version. But for this video, I just wanted to do it on the free version just so people can see that it can be done. Okay, so to get this gold foil look, what I did was I went on color. Next to color, you will see gradient and then you'll see texture. If you click on texture and then click the photo icon at the beginning of the list of textures, then it will take you to your photos in your phone, and then you can choose the textures you just saved in your phone at the beginning. So I chose the gold foil texture for this one. Now I'm just going to type the second word of the logo and again make it black for now just so we can see. And then once again I'm going to go play around with the fonts, see what I like, and then I'm going to go to texture again. It's where you would go to change the color, but next to it you'll see gradient and then texture. Click on texture and then that's where you can change it to glitter or metallic or foil or whatever you want to do. So I'm just showing you guys some of the font options on the free version. There's only a couple that I like, so you'll see me using those same fonts over and over again, but it is what it is on the free version. Just so you know, it can be done. So I went into texture and I chose the pink glitter, and I'm just playing around with the sizing of the word. And then I'm going to add a stroke on here. If you click stroke, that will give it an outline, also known as an offset. So I'm playing around with that, the thickness of that, and how I want that to look. You can also change the color of it. So if you don't want a black outline, you can make it pink or yellow or whatever you want. And I also like to add a shadow to my to the words because it just kind of makes them pop off the screen. That way, it just gives it a little bit more dimension. And right here, I'm just playing with the spacing of the letters because I don't like how the F and the I are kind of connected. And even though I spaced the letters all the way out, it still didn't disconnect those. So I am going to go ahead and just change the font completely because I just don't like the way that looks. So you'll just see me playing around with all the settings. Like I said, you can add the shadow, you can change the position of the shadow, the opacity, and the blur. Play around with those until it looks the way you like it to look. And then I change the font here, and then I'm just going to resize and reposition it until it looks the way I like it to look. And just play around with it until it is the way you like it. And then once you are satisfied, you're going to delete the white square from behind the logo. This is very important that you do not forget this step because once you hit apply, you cannot make any changes. So if you rush through it or move too fast and forget to do anything, whether you forget to remove the white background or you misspell something or you decide later you want to add something in real quick, you cannot make any changes once you click apply. So just take your time and make sure it is completely the way you want it. Otherwise, you will have to start all the way back over from the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the white square from behind it, and then I'm just going to click apply and then save it, and that is going to save our logo as a transparent background. So here's what it looks like without the white background, and then here's what it would look like with the white background, and that is the final result. So now we're going to go ahead and do this a couple of more times. I just want to show you guys a couple more times so you can really see different options. So we're going to go back into the app and again start with the transparent background and add the photo of that white square that we already saved from the last time. Make sure that's your first step that you do. Just stretch it out and make it bigger on the screen so you can see a little bit better. And we're just going to repeat this process all over again. So you'll go on to stickers and search for whatever you're looking for. So for this business logo, we are going to make this about a lash business. This is a completely made up business. I have no idea if this is actually somebody's business name or not. I just literally made this up for this video. So I'm just looking for some lashes and I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for and what I wanted the name to be. So once I saw this sticker that you guys will see in a second, I was like, oh, okay, that's perfect. So yeah, I'm just scrolling through to look at all the different options until I find what I'm looking for. When you find something that jumps out at you, then yeah, go ahead and choose that. And also, if you don't find what you're looking for in here, you can go on Google and search for graphics and save them on your phone, and you can import them that way. So I found this cute pink house with lashes on it, and I had a good idea for this name. This is, again, just completely made up. This is not a real business. I don't know if it is or not. I just made this up. Okay, so I'm just going to make the house bigger so I can see a little bit better. Then I'm going to go ahead and start adding in text. So I know that I want this to be called Lash Trap Beauty, and so I'm going to put Lash Trap all on one line. So here I'm going to type both words together instead of just one at a time, like I did on the last one. I'm going to go ahead and make it black again so that I can see better for now. And then once again, go into texture, and this will open up your photos, and then you can choose one of the textures that you saved on your phone. And for this one, I decided to see how the pink metallic or pink foil look would look with these words, and I think that was really cute. And then again, like on the last one, I'm going to add a shadow, and I'm going to play with the position and the opacity of the shadow until it looks the way I like it to look. I usually like to keep the position somewhere near the center, and then depending on the logo, I'll play around with the opacity and the blur. So I just moved that to where I wanted it, and then I'm going to go in with the second line, which is going to be beauty, make that black again, and then I'm just going to play around with some fonts to see what other kind of like plain simple kind of font I can put with this, because I don't want the whole thing to be like a pretty cursive writing. I like for there to be some variety. So I just chose this font. Then I went to texture again, and this time I added the gold, and then I'm going to put a stroke on here, which is the outline, and again a shadow, and play around with that, with those settings, until it looks the way I like for it to look. And once I'm satisfied with it, then I'm going to go ahead and remove the white square from behind it. Once again, this step is very important because if you save it without deleting that, you cannot go back and remove it later. So delete the white box, then click apply, and then click save. And this is going to be your finished product. You're going to see how it looks with a transparent background, and again, what it would look like if you had a white background on it. So here's the white background, and then here is the transparent. So I think that one came out really cute. Um, I don't know if this is anybody's real business name or anything like that, so I hope not, but I thought I just made this up for this video. But you could just see both of the logos that we just made side by side. Super cute, super easy, super quick, and you can have a lot of fun with it. Okay, so we're going to do one last one. So once again, go into your PicsArt app, go down to the bottom and open up the transparent project if you already have a white square saved. If you don't, then of course save the white square first. Now I'm bringing in the white square again into this one the same way by clicking add photo and stretching it big to fit the screen so I can see. And we're going back into stickers. We're going to search for hair bundles this time. This time we'll gear this towards a hair business. So I'm just going to scroll. As you can see, there are so many options, especially for hair. Like there's so many options. So just go through, take your time, and look until you find what you think would go with your brand and your aesthetics and your vibe. So I'm just going to choose this bundle right here on the screen. This first bundle, that looks pretty good. Nothing too fancy. At first I was going to go with like the full head of hair, but I changed my mind. So I'm just going to resize it and position it off to the side over here and just play around with some different things until it looks the way I want it to look. Now I had a vision for this one. I kind of want like a pink glow behind it. So to achieve that, I'm just going to add a shadow, and I'm going to put the opacity and the position and the blur. I'm going to play with those settings more than I normally would because I really want there to be like a big shadow so it looks like a glow. And the way I'm going to do that is by changing the color of the shadow. So I'm just going to go into my color wheel here and choose a custom color, a custom shade of pink because I didn't like any of the other ones that was already there. And then this is where I can see the glow a little bit better, or the shadow. And now I can really play around with the settings until I have it looking how I want it to look. I really just want it to like pop. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Okay, now that I have that, I decided I want to add some sparkles to it just to give it a little bit more razzle dazzle because it's looking a little plain right now. So I'm just going to go back into sticker and type sparkle in the search bar. And then I'm just going to choose one of these little cute sparklies to put on there. And I want to put a few of them on there. So I'm going to go back and do this a couple of times. You'll see that I'm going to do it like 3 different times to add a few sparkles on there. So I'm just going to play around with the sizing and the positioning of the sparkles to see where I want them to sit at on the bundles. And then just play around with that until it is the way I like it, until I like how it looks. And then we will move on after I finish that. Okay, so now that I have that, it's time to add the text. So I'm just clicking add text and then type it in the first word of the logo, which is going to be the name Breeze. Once again, made this up. Have no idea if Bree really got a hair business. I just made this up. So I just made the word black so I could see it. Then I'm going to go into texture and then I'm going to choose one of these textures to see what I like. You can play around with the glitters, the foils, and everything like that so you can see what each option would look like. So you'll just see me playing around with a couple of different elements or textures until I find what I like. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just playing around with some of the font combinations to see what looks the best to me. And then I'm going to change the texture of the word bundle. So I'm going to put a silver glitter on here. And then I'm going to go and mess around with the stroke and the shadows again, just like the same way as I did the first two, just to make them pop off the screen or just to have them look as dimensional as they can, or however I want it to look or whatever I'm satisfied with. And you do this to cater your style, your aesthetic, your vibe. You know what I mean? You don't have to do it the same way I'm doing it. You can be completely different. However creative you want to get, go for it. So yeah, I'm adding shadows and strokes to the word bundles so it can pop off the screen. And then the more I'm looking at it, I really don't like that rose pink metallic or foil color. I mean, it's okay with the shadow and the silver under it, but I don't know. I'm just gonna try and see what something else would look like with it. So I'm gonna change the color of that in just a second. Also wanted to mention and show you guys this color dropper tool. I like to use this a lot, um, especially when I want everything to be very cohesive and everything to just match. And you just click on the little color dropper and you can hover it over any part of your design and it will match that color. So I hovered it over the pink that's in the shadow behind the bundle, or you can hover it over the pink that's in the letters, whatever you want, whatever part of the design that you want to match that color with. That color dropper is good for that. So I just wanted to mention that and show you that because that is something that I use pretty often. So yeah, that is an option as well. Okay, so ultimately I decided to just completely change the texture of the first word. So I went with this darker pink foil, and I think that looks pretty good. I just wanted there to be like a big contrast. So I like the way that looks. And I'm just going to make sure that I like the placement of everything. And then again, we're going to save it the same way as we did the first two by making sure that we delete that white square first. That is the most important thing because once again, once you click apply, you cannot go back and make any changes, even if you haven't clicked saved yet. Once you click apply, that's it. So we're going to delete the white square, then click apply, and then click save. And then we now have our finished product, and you will see here what it looks like with a white background and then without the white background, which would be transparent. So that would really look cute on like a lighter color fabric or whatever item you're going to put it on. So that is it for this video. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if you guys want to see more content like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video.